كافها يا عين صاد ذكر رحمة ربك عبده زكريا إذ نادى ربه نداء خفيا قال رب إني وهن العظم مني واشتعل الرأس شيبا ولم أكن بدعائك رب شقيا وإني خفت الموالي من ورائي وكانت امرأتي عاقرا فهب لي من لدنك وليا.
The truth.
Assalamu alaikum, and by now you know what that means. Is that greeting of peace. Peace be unto you. And that's the same greeting I greet you with. And my next guest coming up, I'm going to be greeting the legendary Sinead O'Connor. Why she chose the way of peace, peace acquired by submission to the Creator alone. That's that beautiful way of life that she chose, and everybody out there went in a frenzy when all she did was choose to connect her heart with the Creator of the heart, the Creator of the heavens and earth. Let's find out why she chose to fulfill the purpose of what she was created for, and how you can too, here with our next guest, Sinead O'Connor on the Dean Show.
This is the Dean Show.
Assalamu alaikum, sister Sinead. How are you?
I'm good. I can't see you though.
Okay, we're gonna set it up.
You there? Hi.
This is the Dean Show.
How are you, sister? It's been a
I'm good.
long
How are
thing,
you?
long thing in the planning and the making. We finally made it happen.
Absolutely. So how are you? You good?
Alhamdulillah, really good. Alhamdulillah.
Exactly.
So I'm very thankful that you found the time. I know you're very busy in that to be on the
No,
show,
I'm really
to be on the program.
honored to be doing it. I'm delighted.
So let's start off by asking you know, we're creatures of imitation, but you seem to be imitating one of the best of creation, Mary, the mother of Jesus, because any picture that's out there that they have resembling her, she's wearing what you're wearing, called the
It's
hijab.
funny. It's funny because my favorite color to wear is the navy blue as well. It's fun. That's funny you should say that, because from the day of my birth, I'm associated with Mary by my grandparents, because in Ireland the 8th of December is what they call the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, and it's what we call that a Big Mary Day. So all my life, it's funny you picked up on that, all of my life, every year on my birthday, my mother and my grandmother would give me this beautiful picture of Mary, the mother of Jesus, you know, that in my previous culture we would have pictures and images of Jesus or of Mary or whatever, you know. And so yeah, that's funny you picked that up, because all my life I've had a huge bond with the mother of Jesus. I really have had a huge bond, and I used to go to Lourdes all the time.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway.
I mentioned that because, you know, at the Dean Show we try to bridge those gaps of misunderstanding, the misconceptions, and that's one of the misconceptions, you know, and one of the things that people don't know is that you can't be a Muslim unless you love Jesus as one of the mightiest messenger and his blessed mother. There's a whole chapter named after her in the Quran.
Exactly. I love that, and that's why I like that. You know, I get to keep my guys. You know, you know, and I like that. For example, I have a ring still, which is associated with Jesus. I also have a ring associated with Judaism. I'm a theology student. This is how I ended up at Islam. So I've gone through studying all the different religions. So I've got my Hebrew one, and then I've got another Hebrew one. But what I liked about becoming Muslim, I didn't have to lose any of these things. These are the stepping stones that brought me to Islam. So I'm proud of them, you know. And even though I have tattoos and things, but they're all scriptures. And again, those are the stepping stones that led me to Islam. So, and I love that I found them again in Islam, but much wider, much more present. And I love that you all have a chapter, that Islam has a chapter dedicated to the Mother of Jesus. Because in my culture, she gets a very small mention. You know?
Well, there's no introduction needed. We're with Sinead O'Connor, one of the legends out there. You actually made a statement, and it's really profound. But first, before that, I want to say that you purposely didn't want to do any interviews because you didn't want people questioning your sincerity in this decision of becoming a Muslim.
No, it was more because I felt that I didn't want to have to. It was a private decision.
Yeah.
B, I didn't want to. I didn't enjoy privately having to justify it to people.
Yeah.
There's so much. There's so much stigma, you know. And I felt like, you know what, I don't have to explain to you or to anybody else why I became a Muslim.
Yeah.
And so that's what I was trying to avoid. I didn't feel like I had to explain it to anybody, you know. And I also got very good advice, which from, you know, someone whose name I promise not to mention, but a prominent musician who also became a Muslim, advised me that the best thing I could do would be to keep as quiet as possible, you know. So I made a promise to myself that for a certain length of time I would not go to the mosque, for example, because I didn't want media following me there.
Yeah.
And bringing all of that there. And also I made a promise that I would only talk to you. That when I was ready to talk about it, I would only talk to you. So I'm not, after this, I'm not talking about it, you know. Although in saying that, I know that can't be true, A, because I'm female and I love talking, and B, I feel so passionately about Islam and passionately about defending it against stigma that I probably will talk a lot about it. But I wasn't ready, you know.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for coming on the Dean Show. Do you find it ironic that people can make all different personal decisions in life and they won't catch as much heat? They'll do all sorts of things, and now why, when it comes to Islam, now it's like everybody's just going bizarre.
Well, you know why? It's because the very tenets of Islam are against everything the world worships. The world worships money. That Islam is the truth and has the truth and has the truths plural, and that's why it's so dangerous. Our culture is built on one great big lie, which is that Jesus Christ was the Son of God, right? And all the ensuing lies that can be manipulated out of that, including the very idea that Constantine had some type of epiphany. Sure he did. He wanted to exploit something and cause a whole series of lies, and that's what's happened. Islam has the truth. The person who has the truth and who also has nothing to lose is an extremely dangerous person, you know. Mm-hmm. And that's how Islam is perceived. In Ireland also, we suffered from the same stigma also because of extremists. That we also had extremists because we had a war going on here, and there was a prejudiced and false idea that if you stood up at all for Irish nationalism, this meant that you supported terrorism, you know. And I think that yours falsely it meant that, you know. And I think that Islam has suffered from the same stigma, that because there are extremists and there are terrorists, it's very easy for those who want to stigmatize us to say that we're all terrorists and we all support terrorism, which of course we don't, you know.
Yes.
And then I found it, what I was amazed by was the prejudice I found from women about the fact that I choose to wear hijab. Because I find it amusing, because to me, they're saying to me that, oh, you're trying to comply with Eastern men's view of beauty. First of all, I'm not. Look at the state of me. I'm not beautiful at all. But secondly, it's nothing to do with that. It's a choice. And in fact, under the Islamic law, at my age, I don't have to wear a hijab, actually, you know. But what amuses me about it is that these women have their hair bleached blonde. It's got a thing going across here and it goes down here. Their hair. Uh-huh. Their hair itself is a hijab. Their very hair. They're trying to conform, in fact, to Western men's idea of beauty. Uh-huh. So I keep saying, well, if you don't like hijab, then shave your hair. Because it's the same thing. There's no difference. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but I'm amazed at the prejudice about that. I found more prejudice about wearing the hijab than about actually becoming Muslim, you know. And so consequently, I love wearing it, you know, and I feel naked without it, you know.
People, I mean, you pretty much, to sum it up, you said by saying the Shahada, by accepting Islam, is that you love the creator of the heavens and earth first and foremost, beyond materialism, beyond anything in creation. You did what Jesus did, you did what Moses and all these great messengers that God Almighty sent. That's all you're doing. In essence, you're just choosing to love and put God Almighty first, saying, I'm not going to worship anything but the creator. That's Islam. That's what Islam is.
what happened to me was I had been studying theology since I was 7 years of age, really, in truth, and I had gone to college and I had studied all different kind of things, and I had left Islam to last for some reason, probably because I had prejudice, you know. And then what happened was, and only yesterday in the Quran did I hear it being said that this would happen to people, but what happened to me was, as soon as I started to read it and listen to it, I realized, oh my God, I've been a Muslim all my life and I didn't know it.
Wow, wow. Yeah.
I was a Muslim all my life because it's a headspace, it's a way of thinking. Islam is a way of thinking about God. It's exactly what you just said. Somebody who believes that nothing in this world should be worshipped more than God. Even though I fail sometimes, I'm not perfect, I fail. I worry about money, I worry about the things that we all worry about. I forget sometimes that I don't need to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
In fact, I forget a lot, you know. You know, so yeah, that's what happened to me. Why, if you say, why did you decide to revert? Revert is the right word.
Yes.
I was always a Muslim and I didn't even know it, you know?
Yeah, that's the belief that every child is born in a natural state. If you left it
Yeah.
alone, it would worship just the Creator, the one God alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what you did. You came back to the natural way. You came back to the pure way of pure monotheism, worshiping only the one God.
Yeah. And it's very much for me about the strength of the scriptures, the intelligence, the sheer intelligence of the scriptures, that I just knew immediately, like nobody wrote this but God. Nobody sang this to Gabriel or to Muhammad but God. Nobody could have created it but God. It's so intelligent, it's so, you know, it's mind-blowing. I can't even find words. It's mind-blowing. Every time I listen to it, I'm more mind.
So you made a statement. It was very powerful. Proud to have become Muslim, the natural conclusion of any intellectual. So any intellectual theologian's journey. I mean, that's such a profound statement. I mean, this is not something that's hard to figure out. One God, worship Him alone. Simple, easy to understand.
Well, and also, you know, no theologian, as far as I'm concerned, has the right to call themselves a theologian if they have not studied the Quran, if they have deeply listened, and I don't mean read it, because it's not for reading as such. To me, I don't get it when I just look at it with my eyes. I have to hear the way it was designed to be heard, you know.
Yeah.
And, but you can't say you're a theologian if you haven't studied Islam, as far as I'm concerned. And if you study Islam and say you're a theologian and come out trying to crucify Islam, then you're not a theologian either, because you don't have the intelligence. Only an intelligent theologian can hear the Quran and go, I say wa alaikum assalam.
Thank you.
Right?
Yes. Thank you so much, sister. May Allah continue to bless you and keep you, preserve you, and keep you safe. Thank you so much.
وكانت امرأتي عاقرا فهب لي من لدنك